I think, um, especially where hip hop is concerned, hip hop, it's a life force on its own. You know, it can inspire, it can kill, it can damage, and it's sad, especially in the female aspect, where we love hip hop. You know, we want to be seen as equals. But for now, it's not happening because a lot of females, a lot of us females are kind of pushed to the side because of that. And in honest fact, we can kill a lot of niggas out there. You know, even the dopers, we can kill you. You know what I mean? And especially the people who are organizing these shows, they just push you to the side. So with the portrayal of women, I think, ladies, we need to stand up and not claim what is ours, but lead these niggas. Some of them are just really, really questionable. And with me and hip hop, I'm fairly new. In a sense, I'm only starting to own what hip hop is about and what it stands for. And the best way for me to own that is through my writings, through listening to music, playing music. As far as what they say too much. They say too much. It's just, too much is being thrown into the airwaves. But for me, right now, hip hop is about the music, the instrumentals, the producers, before the MC. So for me, my stage, I'm still very excited by what producers are coming up with, by what studio, the workings behind the studio brings forth. So me personally, what I draw from hip hop is exactly what Kos said, being myself. My man said something very, very, very important, and I think it applies to me, it applies to my life. That you can live hip hop, you can let it be you, but we need to live. You know, we need to live. And hip hop, visually, I'm also a graphic designer, and right now I'm still excited, and I'm hoping to learn and absorb as much as I can, and therefore, like Format said, I'm plugging and I'm unplugging and connecting, disconnecting. So
do you guys remember like first time that you were introduced to culture? I remember I was 9 and I walked into
Me, man, I don't remember that event, but I know there was a year where, you know, what happens to me? I could learn a word today, man, like a new word. I'm telling you, the week to come is gonna pop up everywhere. I'm gonna see. Probably I wasn't seeing it then or something, but it's gonna pop out. Like I'm gonna start seeing that thing again and again. So hip hop to me was like that, man. It started out as my friends, you know, like we were bumping, exchanging Tupac cassettes, you know, things like that. Then eventually I was around people who were hip hop. I was around sessions. It started growing, and it wasn't a thing where I decided one day, you know what, I love hip hop, I'm doing hip hop. You know, it was a thing that grew inside of me. You know, it took time.
Yeah, I guess it's the same thing where you constantly run into the music, you know, and you become accustomed to it and at ease with it. But for me, there was a specific point as well where it made such an impact. Like I was listening to Nas, and this cat was talking about Patrice Lumumba, and I'm like, I'm African and I don't know who this cat is, man, you know. And I always, every time cats ask me, why do you like reading? I'm like, that cat, when I heard that nigga talk about that shit, that's what gave me interest in starting to read, you know, because I felt like... Sorry?
You felt exposed.
Yeah, like, dude, I'm standing in my own yard and this dude is telling me what the grass looks like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it doesn't make sense to me, you know? So for me, initially, that's what started, I guess, and I was lucky as well, because that forced me immediately to start reading, and I started reading a lot, you know what I'm saying? And I luckily fell into a sect of hip-hop that sort of encouraged you to think, and encouraged you to be wise, and encouraged you to speak educated, yeah, like, it's cool to be educated and clever, you know what I'm saying? And so I kind of just stuck with it, and I started sussing out the music, like, okay, this guy isn't really saying anything. Let me look for this guy, you know, because I didn't know where to go to look for facts. You know, where do you start? How do I even think of? Okay, let me think of an African leader that died that I can. You can't think it up. You know, someone has to give you a point of reference. So I started going to the music and listening to those things. You know what I'm saying? And also, I mean, I had a lot of friends that were b-boys and like beatboxers and things like that in the hood, you know, and it was always a case of I want to be like them, you know what I'm saying, because they were cool, man. It was like something about them, you know. They'd be on the weekends, they'd be at the basketball courts, at the stadium, just chilling, you know. So all of it like kind of appealed to me, the lifestyle, the music, you know, the knowledge that it brought. So yeah, it's a thing that happened over time. There was no specific day where it was like, yo, this is like something new to me, you know what I'm saying?
For me, I come from Limpopo, you know what I mean? The only thing from hip-hop I can say, it was sport, basketball. That's the only thing I can say basketball kind of drew me to more hip-hop. So when I came to Joburg in 2001 or so, that's when I started, like it's selective hearing. There were those kind of music and this kind of music. So like you said, like you either choose which side you stand in, and I chose the other side. So for me, I kind of like way back, maybe just like 2000 and 2001 or so. And then since then, man, it's like I'm rooted, yeah.
So if it wasn't for basketball,
yeah, I wasn't for basketball. Probably I think I'll be Guaito or some shit.
Yo, Lord Paul! Make it rain, what do you mean? It's not raining.
So yeah, man. With me, it was at a very young age. I was still in primary school, man, and my brother just brought this tape from boarding school. It was Tupac, as cliche as it sounds, you know? And it was quite amazing when listening to Tupac, how he actually painted a picture of the black condition. You know, I could so relate. And it was on from then on, you know what I mean? How it mirrored us, our condition as black people. I could so relate. And hey, I caught the body then and hey, today still, you know?
I've always been creative. I've considered myself to be creative, and the first thing, or the first reference or exposure to hip hop was through graffiti, the art. And when the art had concepts, it was beautiful, it was intriguing, and I was then excited again by the thought process behind these visuals, and that also then led me to poetry. And with poetry, it was what, oral, well, you know, you've got visual representation of the graffiti, and then it was mental, you know. And I guess if you can paint a picture with your words, you excite me, you know. And then I got introduced to people like, whoa, who's this guy? Like a whole lot of other MCs who were very, very visual in what they said, in how they presented their work. And I think that's why hip hop, for me, stayed in my heart, because I love words. I love how people put words together, how they're able to ultimately express something that is, you know, not in this realm, but beyond the human norm. So that's why hip hop for me.
how about you? Who are you introduced to hip hop? Would you regard yourself as a young
Yeah, amongst other things, I'm just struggling to think of. I think, like most people, it wasn't one particular moment, you know. It was over time, and I think with the friends you have and associations you have, and you know, you just end up living that lifestyle, and that lifestyle comes with the music, it comes with the people, you know, it comes with the clothes. So it was, you know, at a young age, from young teenager, you begin to understand it, and you listen to a bit more than the party hip hop, the party songs. Yeah, and then it speaks to the heart, you know, and that's what's drawn it to the most. I feel I relate to what people say, you know, like we were all saying earlier that people are free to speak when you a hip-hop band. And it has so many aspects to it. So it's easy. It was almost natural for me to just, you know, get into it.
You know, that's what hip hop does. It mirrors us, just like the media would. And it's for us to actually probe that. Why are things like those happening, you know, in our times? How are we as a people, really, pretty much? I think hip hop is doing its job. That's the D. Listen, watch, then probe. Question yourself as a human being.
Let's not forget that hip-hop is a medium of communication. It's supposed to document what is happening now. So, like I said, or like he said, when you plug in and you unplug yourself, you must remember that you are living history. You know what I mean? What we are exposed to 20 years from now, the children, whatever, they won't be exposed. It'll be something else. And the saddest thing, and it chills me, is that it seems like it's getting worse and worse, where there's disregard for the human spirit, for the love of self. It becomes it's shiny, you know. It's unreal. It's magazines, you know what I mean? And hip hop, I believe it shouldn't be that. Hip hop is a lifestyle. It's a culture. To some, it's a religion. And for you to deface it in a way like that, it kind of it tones down the power that it intends to have. The objective right now is make money.
Yeah,
It's
I was about to say that. Yeah, it's the thing is, the art form is out of our hands. You know what I'm saying? Your A&R comes in and he tells you, listen, we need a song about bitches and about the club. You know, do about 6. We'll choose 2 of the best, and the rest you can just make up some ignorant shit as long as the people dance. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you'll hear a lot of cats that are signed. They'll complain that I can't do the music that I want to do.
Well,
you
my
know?
question is, even in the so-called conscious rap,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Well, look, yeah, you're right. It definitely comes up, and it's very prevalent in all spheres of hip. Most of my favorite albums probably has the bitch more than the word love on it. You know what I'm saying? And it's a sad reality. I think it's like you said, it's a reflection of who you are, your relation with women. You know, so I think it's a psychological thing as well. You know, for me, when I make music and when I record, the first thing I think is I'm gonna play this to my moms. You know what I'm saying? And then the second thing is, but I also need to make sure that the cats that I'm making this for relate to it. You know, so then you find that balance. You know what I mean? And come back to knowledge of self again. You know what's gonna work for you and what isn't. You know what I mean? And it's really a sad reality that most of the times we either killing niggas and we having sex with bitches. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad, but yo, even the most conscious cats, yeah, you're right, they're on that vibe. And it's something that I can't put my finger on, but in the same breath, there's also a lot of hip hop that doesn't mention that. You know what I mean? And which is the sad case with hip hop. There's things that get, you know, under a spotlight, and the rest you put under a carpet, and people need to go look for it. You know what I'm saying? So there is clean hip hop, and there is that vulgar music as well. So,
with hip hop, as per se, let's not forget that everything in life has a purpose. As a human being, you're meant to do something. There's a designated path that you should go, you know. And with hip hop, with the bitches and the what, it serves a purpose. You have club hip hop, you have home Sunday hip hop, you have conscious hip hop, you have what. So again, I think let's not forget the purpose. They serve a certain market. Not all of us can be sitting there and listening to a guy going on about how hard his life is. You know, we need to be happy. Yo, man, I can pop and lock every now and again. You know, because the purpose is I want to be happy. I want to feel whatever the